perspective. Longevity, so it can live long enough. Fidelity, which is the accuracy of the copying process. Sometimes you want it to be low, so there's greater variability in the meme. So what you get better. The possibility of a better meme occurring is higher. And this word, the rate at which things is copied. You obviously want more memes. Memes is viruses. So I also describe that. It's just thought contagion. That's what I call it. So here's a little experiment. It shows how how a message can slowly transform to something very different as it gets copied more and more and more. Yeah, so it's just showing the meme process of memes becoming different, varying in different sizes. It's pretty interesting. Generation. So here's a little interesting diagram. You see a very young meme over here, but it could be influenced by the generation above it through vertical transmission, which is the meme that directly caused it, or oblique transmission, which is a meme that it's not originally originates from, but something that was different. That's from the past, a meme from the past. But horizontal transmission is a meme that is that occupies the same time space as the young meme you see over here. And you see all the different evolutionary effects. See all the perspectives that different people had on memes. So over here you have Richard Dawkins' initial definition of what a meme is. So he compared it to genes, but Dawkins also later on changed it to compare it to viruses also. And you see how it changes from genes to viruses, genes to viruses. It's pretty cool. So, meme history. Meme history shows different meme phases in the history of internet memes. Each phase is a reaction to the previous phase. They begin by memers attempting to subvert expectations to create a meme that is subversive and different. Therefore, they surprise you. Why do they want to surprise you? Because it leads to a humorous meme. And humorous is good. Pre-ironic memes. So this is the meme that you guys are all familiar with. They have a rigid format and use. They have a clearly defined meaning to it. The structure is very rigid, and things that go on top and go on bottom are also very rigid. They're very simple. You understand it easily. There you go. People get mad if you use them wrong because they have a rigid structure that you can't just change. So you see how pre-ironic transitions from newspaper memes over here to normie internet memes to Genko internet memes.
Well, wait, just slow down.
Okay. Platforms through which memes are generated. One, image boards such as 4chan. They're obviously image boards, so images come through and flow out of them like water. There's a lot of conversation and different things going on at the same time, so it's a very nice place for a meme to originate from. Two, aggregators. Lots of different exposure, but it's also static. Aggregator means that it draws from different sources for images. Reddit is a great example of this. It draws articles from the internet, news sources, original texts. So there's a lot of different things coming together. Three, blogs, WordPress. More specific in their memes. Yeah, they show the chronological archive of memes. So it's pretty interesting. And Facebook is just everything put into one. So these are what we call normie memes up top. You see Latin colors in Facebook. It's a group. Then you see a reaction to it. So that's how, when you see meme phases coming along. You see various colors that are not laughing at the moment, which which is a reaction to this group over here. This is what you call ironic. Ironic memes, group description, drugs. That's when we get into ironic memes. They're also subversive. They subvert your expectations. And you're like, whoa, that's weird. That's how you find it funny. Well, memes, they just want to be funny. And being funny involves subverting your expectations. So they react to pre-ironic memes here, and then they move on to ironic memes. So that's when you see the golden age of memes. I like how you see lean memes, saucy memes too, return to sauce, or perhaps take loose is loose, or my favorite, before in vaporwave memes were slick and speedy teens, shirts and loose sort of. So see various different styles being utilized here. See distortion, intentionally making our innocent little Mickey here into a demonic Mickey. You see JPEG artifacts and compression being utilized so that they're intentionally more ugly. And then you see watermark stock imagery. Post-ironic. So this is another subversion from the expectation that you see from ironic memes. These people see ironic memes and they're like, let's go even further. See post-ironic. The structure is back, but then the narrative is changed. Meta-criticism directed at ironic memers. So they see ironic memers as new normies now, and they try to subvert that and create a whole new dimension of irony. Pretty cool.
Wait.
What is memes? Alright, so here is a little nice post-ironic meme demonstration.
Oh no.
Oh no, God! Okay.
Served as distinct, with no fictional, as before the served. Cool and good. It's a mistake. Ridiculous. I taste adventure zone.
So it's a nice ironic, post-ironic meme for you guys. So you see a lot of different subversions and a lot of different methods used to create this very weird meme. Yeah. Dead end of meta-irony. So you see how each phase is trying to react to it by subverting expectations. So on one side, we have meta-irony, which believes that we should go further into irony to create even danker memes. But on the other side, we see post-irony, which believes that instead of keep going deeper into irony, we should instead go back to pre-irony and begin building back the structure that we previously had. Yeah. So, what is meta-irony? Well, meta-irony is it's weird. It has a clear meaning, which means that the narrative is obvious, but the structure is subversive. The structure of the meme is you don't understand it, but you understand what it's trying to say. I can't really define it. I don't know why I had that picture in. So here's a little diagram that I made for you guys. see, pre-ironic has a clearly defined structure and a clearly defined narrative inside of that structure. But the ironic meme has a clearly defined structure, but the narrative is suddenly gone. So you see obvious meme formats, but utilized in different ways. Meta-ironic memes, the narrative is there, but the structure is not there. So it's not clear what it's the format that it's using, but what the message that it's trying to convey is obvious. Post-ironic is you just do whatever. You can utilize any of these, just going back to what we had before instead of going deeper into irony.
Why doesn't it go backwards? I mean, why doesn't you have the... I see the post, but it seems by logic that you build going backwards. If I look at it.
Oh, no. So it's different because humor is based on the subversion of expectations. So as we move further in the meme history, you see a lot of rule breaking instead of rule building. That's why. Because that's something that you don't expect. So as you said there, you would expect rules to be made, structure to be built. But
right.
Instead,
but you're breaking the rules.
Yeah, you're breaking the rules, and that comes as surprising, which is funny. So if I yell, ah! You guys be like, whoa, that's weird. You guys find that funny,
No, I don't.
That funny.
Okay, shut up. Okay, there we go. So that's rule breaking right there. So here's a diagram right here. We have stylistically conservative, that's the structure, and stylistically subversive. Narratologically conservative and narratologically subversive. So you see different layers going in and out. Like over. Now here's more well-defined meme diagram for you guys. Okay, you see pre-ironic, and then we ironic. So here's the key. Okay, the red line means reaction against. Ironic is a reaction against pre-ironic, and meta-ironic is a reaction against ironic. And post-ironic is a reaction against both meta-ironic and pre-ironic because it seeks to go back to pre-ironic to build up a structure again.
Let's talk about World War II.
That's fun. Just comparing it to art history. Art history, it goes from modernism to postmodernism. It's art history. You see also lots of rule breaking. Modern art is just, it's weird. It leads to question what art actually is, just like memes. They constantly try to question what memes actually are. So earlier, we asked, we defined what a genetic analogy of memes were, but it could also go in two different ways. It could either be Lamarckian or Darwinist. So basically, Darwinist would be like natural selection. Okay, you see you have different memes. Best of them survives. Boom. Next generation. See a whole lot of different memes again. Best of them survives. Boom, boom, boom. Lamarckian, the best meme adapts to the circumstance that it's dealt with. So mainstream germline. So there's actually two different types of meme phase going on here. There's the mainstream and there's the underground, which is over here. From the traditionals to neo-traditionals. Okay, traditionals memes would be like something very old, like perhaps religion. Religion is actually a meme because it gets spread from people to people, and people try to constantly spread it through a mission. Yeah, exactly. So it goes from simple and viral content to more complex reference humor. So, when I say something like Pepe, you should have knowledge of what Pepe is beforehand, and I reference that. Or from pre-ironic memes, from reference humor, and viral content to self-contained linguistic systems. I don't know what that means. Ironic meme culture.
That's how you get the meme to understand what the meme is because of the linguistic subculture of understanding language.
Linguistic subculture.